Welcome to episode 159 of Bardic Quest. Our heroes continue to venture deeper into the Shadowfell. Armed now with Johann's notes on Carro and her coven, they make their way into the haunted swamp to seek the hag's lair. So without further ado, let's get into this week's episode of Bardic Quest. You do venture forth down this hill, leaving very much the hills behind. The air begins to grow thick with humidity, clinging to your skin like a damp shroud. The ground beneath your feet softening, giving way to the pools of stagnant water that dot the landscape. There are gnarled trees draped in veils of moss, rising from the mire, their twisted branches kind of reaching out like skeletal fingers, and a faint mist clinging to the surface here, obscuring your vision here, and muffling sound, creating a almost eerie silence. You sense occasionally movement in the periphery of your vision, but every time you turn to look, there's nothing really there. Only the oppressive weight of the swamp bearing down upon you. Feels as though the very land itself here is alive and watching for you to make some sort of mistake as you wade through.
With the deepening water, particularly looking at myself, probably I'm like sort of chest height compared to the humans, and Sergei probably worse off still. Mm-hmm. Thoric kind of pulls out a spool of rope and sort of passes it between all of us and says, I don't really like this, but I think it might be worth having a firm hold on each other.
I mean, Saga would have at least gone to pick Sergei up if he looks like he's picked him up like a cat that doesn't want to be picked up.
Yeah, like a wet cat.
Yeah, I'm like... yeah.
Okay. So, as you kind of have this rope that you're kind of holding on to, with Sergei kind of been picked up.
Like this.
Yeah.
I'm going to tie it round my waist and sort of go in the lead and then kind of pass it around to people if they want to tie themselves onto it or just hold on.
Yeah.
Run
Latch on.
And I'll be at the back. I've tied it around my wrist and I've got Sergei here. Like
that. All right.
I cast light on my shield as well.
Nice.
Just to...
Good shout. Good shout.
Yeah.
So, the swamp kind of closes in around you. The gnarled trees start to form a little bit of a canopy of twisted limbs that block out what little light might have pierced the gloom. So that light on your shield certainly helping to keep your vision up. The ground beneath your feet becoming more and more treacherous, like a mixture of mud and rotting vegetation that really there is a threat of you just being pulled under at any moment, really, with every step. The oppressive silence broken only by the occasional distant croak of unseen creatures. And then the muck beneath your boots begins to churn. And as you are wading through, these cadaverous hands start reaching out, bursting out from underneath the rotting vegetation and mud, really trying to grasp at you. You can see remnants of tattered flesh and clutching at tufts of moss, and they trying to reach out of you with their shards of bone, and they start pulling at your legs, really trying to drag you down into the mud. So could I please get from everyone an athletics or an acrobatics check? It's your choice whether or not you want to try and hold them off, outstrength them, or if you want to try and dodge out of their reach.
Being carried,
Mm-hmm.
do I also have to make this check?
You are okay for now.
Okay.
Let's hope I
It
don't.
looks like climbing up us.
Oh dear. Acrobatics, was it?
Or
athletics?
athletics.
A muscular 18.
A muscular 18.
Oh. We're good. That is 19.
19. Thoric.
An immovable 25.
Very nice. Okay. So you managed to wade through all of this, kind of pushing them off and like dodging out of reach. Sergei, you're kind of being carried through by Saga here, keeping you very much out of reach of all of them, at least. But this goes on for a long time. This is a huge stretch of swamp that you are going to need to endure to wade through and to keep yourself safe. So this is going to be very exhausting stuff, potentially. So, on that basis, could I please get a Constitution saving throw, please?
Ooh, did Thoric have
I
something?
mean, there's something I'd like.
Uh,
There's something. Go on. I was going to say
I was
there's something I'd like to do when appropriate.
yes, I was going to say, I was like, may I use my divine sense
Okay.
to within 60 feet just to try and see if this clot is moving with us or we're moving into it, or if there are
Sure.
any pockets where it's not, to try and give us some kind of way through that's not quite as cloying.
Nice. Okay. Now, just because there's a few of these sense powers, and I get
Yes.
them mixed
So
up in
as an
my head.
action,
So
I
does
can-
this one tell you the location with divine
It
sense?
says you can detect good and evil until the end of your next turn. You can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell,
Yep.
or know the location of any celestial
Okay.
fiend undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Okay, great. So you will be able to navigate a little bit here. So why don't I give you advantage on the Constitution for everyone?
Thank
give
you.
you advantage on the Constitution saving throws here. Thoric, what was the thing that you wanted to do? If
is
it's
it-
appropriate for
is-
now, that is.
Is it apparent that they are undead?
I can see them.
Mechanically speaking,
I
it would
can
count
see them.
the-
I don't know whether they're creatures, but they're undead.
Yes, I will say yes.
In which case, Thoric will kind of initially bundle towards his fellows and just say, "Stick with me," and he'll raise his shield into the air, and his eyes glow again as I'm going to once more channel divinity and turn and hopefully destroy these undead.
Nice.
Could I give Saga a back massage as we're going?
Just, you got this. I imagine she's picked up some knots.
Yeah.
All right.
So challenge rating half or lower, DC 14 wisdom save. If they fail it, they are destroyed.
Okay. They have failed. And so a huge swathe. Now this is, what's the range of your turn undead?
Range of it's anyone within 30 feet, so like a
Okay,
30
so it's
foot
a 30-foot
radius.
radius. Okay. So certainly you destroy a huge patch of them. It's not it is a wide area, which is where the Constitution saving throw is coming from. Now, obviously, there's already advantage, so we can't stack advantage. So what I'll do is I'm going to drop the DC of the saving throw by 2 for you
Amazing.
to account for that.
Thank you.
Okay. What's everybody got on the con save here? Sergei, you're also safe because you're being carried, so it's very little work for you
Yeah.
here.
Like work.
So another con save.
And so this is the first was a athletics or acrobatics, which everybody passed. So this is the con save. It's going to be with advantage because of the divine sense.
With advantage, 16 for myself.
16,
16 as well.
nice. Saga.
22.
Oh, nice.
Wait.
Okay. With your combined divine powers here, kind of guiding you through, and for the area in which you make perhaps a wrong turn or things move a little bit quicker, there's that destroy undead against all of these clawing hands, which clears a pathway through, rendering this area less of a challenge than perhaps it would have been otherwise, as things begin to grow a little bit quiet around you.
While I'm massaging Saga, I'll go, Saga, open wide and go, ah, like that.
Why?
Just trust me.
Oh God. Ah.
Okay, like that on her back. Where she
Oh.
does it. Noise. You see, it makes funny noise, huh?
Gotta giggle.
You two just like having a massage party where there's like a sphere of like silver light from Thoric and gold light from Marvel. It's just like hacking away at these like Patronus style, just like he's be like another wave of them, brother, and just destroying waves.
I quietly say to Thoric as we're trudging through, I say, I do believe that's the first time I've seen her laugh.
Mm.
Does it happen? Yes, it's good to know she can.
She didn't hear that.
This is bleak already. I'm glad we've got Sergei with us to lighten, if not freshen, the mood.
Freshen.
Yes, quite.
You were doing such good work with him with his personal hygiene as well. It seems like we've taken a few steps back by being here.
Yeah, I think we're all not at our best here. We're doing the best as what we can.
No.
When we get to the other side of this, it's a visit to the Neverwinter Baths for us. On me.
That I will gladly take you up on.
So,
Shall we?
Oh, there's some over there. Just in case you'll be like, oh, plop.
Zap.
Yeah. Saga's actually enjoying just sort of like taking 5 minutes and just carrying
watching the
Sergei.
boys have fun.
Yeah. It's like, your turn.
In our element.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
Finally, it's working.
I'm going to pick through Saga's hair and just bits of mud out.
Oh, that's nice.
You've got nids.
Great pride in her. You might not know that, but she does.
Just braiding.
Yeah. Always.
All right. So, you continue then through this swampland, which does become increasingly and unnaturally alive around you. You see frogs, snakes, spiders seemingly everywhere. Their movements relentless and perhaps a little unnerving. And you see occasionally strange carvings and dangling kind of almost like dolls made of twigs just dangling from some of the gnarled trees, just swaying gently through the air. You can see
How
that
big are
they're-
these dolls?
Probably about 15 centimeters to 30 centimeters
Okay.
tall. Not particularly big. In fact, why don't you give me a perception check?
Yeah, what are they made of?
Nat 20.
Nat 20. Okay. As you're kind of taking in these dolls, you notice that as you kind of look away from them and then look back, there are subtle shifts in their positions, almost as though they are altering their position slightly. And you think you can hear some very faint whispers coming seemingly from nowhere and everywhere, all at once.
Do I get... I kind of relay this to everyone, but kind of to draw their attention to it and say there's something unnatural about these things. Can I ascertain, or can we as a group ascertain whether these things are they watching us? Do we get the sense that these are whether themselves or something through them is observing or watching us, or whether they themselves are malicious intent, like they might be creatures that could attack us?
Why don't you give me an insight check?
Perception and insight are two things I'm good at. Insight is a 17.
Okay. You are of the view here that a lot of the stuff that is here, whilst it looks to be kind of scattered about, the carvings, there doesn't seem to be necessarily any pattern as to how often there's a carving on a tree, or indeed how many of these sort of twig-like dolls are scattered about. But you are of the view, actually, that this isn't random, but actually very, very intentional. Now, perhaps it is part of some ritual, defensive things or something, or it could simply be, which you suspect might be the case, something to feed your fear, or one's fear, not necessarily yours specifically, but to feed one's fear.
I will relay all this. I will start ritual casting detect magic, more as kind of like also to kind of give a bit of kind of hope and resolve to my fellows, and just say, I believe these things cannot harm us. It is only in our fear that they hold power.
Are we back on solid ground, or is it still mushy and swampy?
This is still mushy and swampy.
Okay.
It's squidgy.
Squidgy. Looking at one of the dolls that appears to have moved when I look back, I sort of by looking at it and then turning away, but glancing in the mirror in my shield at it to see if it moves.
That's horrifying.
And as you kind of look into the reflection of your shield, you just see the head of one of them just turn as it's kind of like following you.
Nope. And just sort of start pressing forwards, being like, I don't like this. They're definitely moving. Whatever their intent is, it's working.
Well, I was taught a very good way to get over fear once, and if that is what their purpose is, then I suggest this method be incorporated. All you do is you look at them and you give them a name and a silly old story, like that one. That is Patricia. She has recently left her husband. See, look, it lightens the mood, no?
Patricia has like her mouth sewn up and an eye falling out.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Give it a
very
go.
well.
Marvelous.
That one is Carl, and he is an administration assistant.
Sonic, let's hit it, and Saga, you too.
Okay, that is
Yes.
Bobby. Bobby collects miniature ducks.
Bobby's there for 2 axes.
Yeah.
Yes. Saga, go on.
And she spends forever trying to figure out a name, and she goes, that's Twiggy.
Twiggy, yes.
And they're a farmer? That's the best I can do.
The farmer, yes, good, no, good. See, less scary now, no?
Yes, it's working. Let's continue.
All right. So, as you pass on by here, past these dolls and these carvings, trudging as you do through the murky swamp, the air grows a little heavier still. There's an unnatural chill that seeps into your bones. The sound of buzzing insects and croaking frogs is replaced by an eerie silence, broken only by the faint rustle of unseen movement. A thick fog rises, obscuring your path, and blurring the line between what you can touch and feel, and what seems a little bit more dreamlike. The swamp itself seems to breathe. Each exhale carrying with it the faint sound of laughter. A dry, rasping cackle that chills you to your very core.
God, this is too familiar.
Well,
Saga.
we're getting closer.
Great, yes.
Could I get a perception check from you, please?
You're gonna traumatize me, aren't you? So I rolled a nat 1, and obviously, that's a 0. My perception's -1.
Okay. All right.
So
Saga's blind.
yeah, Sergei covered my
Yeah, his hands are covering Saga. Don't listen. Don't look.
They seem to have hired some sort of creepy bard as well to play.
Sorry, that's me. I put away my.
Sorry.
It's making it worse.
Yeah.
All right. At this point, the fog really begins to thicken here, Saga. You're actually struggling to see all of your companions, and indeed the rest of you are kind of in the same boat. Kind of all feeling really isolated now, as you're caught in the fog of this swampland. Thoric.
Mm-hmm.
You hear the voice of your mother ringing in your ears. Almost like you are replaying old, heated, passionate discussions you've had, where she has been telling you how there is the family's reputation to uphold, how you couldn't possibly be ready to take on the mantle because you've been resisting so much of the teachings of not only the church, but her teachings as well. All of the worst arguments you have had with her boil to the surface of your mind, almost like they're flashing before you in an instant. Could I get, please, a wisdom saving throw?
15.
15. Okay. You are able, at least, to see through this illusory ruse. How do you respond?
Is it just kind of like, is there like an actual voice that I feel kind of almost presently speaking to me, or is it just like something's making me relive these experiences?
It's more like a voice that you can hear. That is re-arguing with you, if you will.
As all those kind of tensions and sort of feeling his own shortcomings and imagined sort of doubts and worries that he's carried for nigh on 2 centuries, he just focuses down. The dragon slayer kind of glints in his hand, and as he sort of holds it as a talisman as well, he just remembers that he has taken things up now, and he just kind of thinks really hard, or maybe it kind of slips past his lips. He just says, in my own way, in my own time, I walk my path. And sort of holds it ever stronger. And kind of, whether he's right or wrong, thinking that his fellows might be experiencing similar things. In turn, he touches each of them on the shoulder and says to them with a smile, "They hold no power over us, my friends." And there's a small silver glow with each touch.
Okay. Is there any spell that you're casting there?
Yeah, I'd like to cast Guidance.
Guidance. Okay.
I don't know if it affects saves. One before and the time result you find another number to one ability. Oh, it's ability check, so possibly not.
No.
I'm in fact
Saving.
I am going to use a first level spell slot.
Okay.
To use Bless.
Nice.
So concentration up to a minute. You bless up to 3 creatures of your choice within range. Whenever a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the attack roll or saving throw.
Nice. Okay. Lovely.
So even without kind of like having to make contact, he does grip them, but there's just it's kind of like with the smile and with that kind of contact, they just feel this kind of, there's a lift. There's that, you know, when you've been like tensing your shoulders or like you've been carrying tension and suddenly it just releases. There's that sensation in each of them.
Okay. Nice. Sergei.
Yes.
An image starts to form in front of you. In the mists. In the fog. Of 2 grieving parents. A mother and a father. Over a familiar body. One that you have seen before, and not only in life, but also in your dreams. That same boy that visited you on that vision of the ship. And the same boy with whom you had that fateful moment. And the parents of this boy are weeping uncontrollably. What do you do?
I'm going to get out the music sheet that I took from the boy, that the boy had been writing. the one that I've been trying to play from, but as it turned out, I'd had it upside down the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to flip it the right way up and look at the intended notes and lyrics on it. And Sergei knows there'll never be a way he can get forgiveness for this. But he hopes that he can return this sheet of music. He's going to hum gently along to the tune as best he can. Hearing Thoric's reassurances gives him a bit of confidence, but as he looks at the images in front of him, he thinks of Johann and of the others that they've met along this journey. And he says to himself, if I can take one soul, I must redeem it by saving another. Brother Johann, I am coming for you. You cannot hear me, but I hope you can smell me. And then I'll kind of just bury my head onto the top of Saga's, trying to conceal the visible emotion and trying to look away from the images as well. And then I'm going to tap Saga on the shoulders and cast Heroism at first level.
Oh.
Which imbues Saga with a bit of bravery. Also means you're immune from being frightened and you gain 3 temporary hit points.
Yeah.
Or you gain them at the start of every of your turn, but we're not in combat, so it's not the most relevant thing.
Yeah.
But as I do that, I'm just going to say into Saga's hair. I'm hoping that Saga can hear me. Just going to say, Johann is with us. I can feel it.
She'll slightly nod and I don't know, squeeze his leg. I'm guessing it's piggyback style
Yeah.
at the moment.
And as you say those words, Sergei, to Saga, saying that Johann is with you, the 2 parents look up at you, their eyes almost aglow with rage, as their faces twist into a unnatural snarl as they just scream at you at the top of their lungs. And what about our son? And I'm going to need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Yep. I don't think that's going to succeed.
Don't forget you are blessed.
I am.
#blessed.
Question. Is this against being frightened or poisoned?
Nope.
Okay. Wisdom, you say? A 12 overall.
Okay. At this point, Sergei, the weight of all of this shatters your mind for a moment as you gain short-term madness for 7 minutes. Hey there, Questers. I just wanted to take a quick moment to say a huge thank you to all of our Patreon supporters and YouTube members. Your support really helps to keep this channel going strong. So I wanted to give a special shout out to each and every one of you, our incredible patrons and YouTube members, who are Woodstrapper, Simon Jelly, Martin C, Gallus, Gary Lloyd, James Hamilton, J.R. Bellaston, Robert Treadwell, Jason Udall, Jason Bradwell, Nigel Raggett, Rebecca Hill, Giles McGee, and Caesars. Honestly, your support truly makes a huge difference, and we appreciate you more than we can express. And to those of you who haven't yet joined, I would invite you to consider becoming a patron or YouTube member. Not only will you unlock fantastic benefits, including early access to videos, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, and access to our Discord channel, but you'll also be directly contributing to the growth and success of this channel. But to everybody, thank you again for all of your support and helping us to tell these incredible adventures together.